I'm joined by LOD following another Dignitas victory, this time over Echo Fox. Seems to be pretty commonplace for you guys, all these victories. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. This time last split we were legit 1-5, so we flipped the script. Feels good to start off the split strong. We're almost guaranteed playoffs. Probably have to win 3 or 4 more, so it's good. I'm happy. We're winning.
Absolutely, man. You guys have made a few more changes this split to your roster. You got Dig in the starting spot. Dig big in the starting spot at support, and you have Shrimp playing a majority of your games right now, all the games since he came in, and they've been going really well. Can you talk about the changes that these changes have made for your team as a whole?
I guess we just needed some stronger voices in our team. Pretty much everyone on the team with the last iteration of the roster was extremely quiet. Not many people were willing to be loud and aggressive and initiate and make those game-winning calls and stuff. Whereas with Shrimp and Big, they're both super vocal players and they're both super hypey players, especially Big. The dude just gets excited for anything, which is a good thing. You need people like that on a team, and there's nothing wrong with Xpecial. There's nothing wrong with Chaser whatsoever. They're both extremely good players as well, and I want to credit them. But sometimes personalities don't mesh to create a winning team, and I felt sort of that's what was happening before. There's lots of teams I feel that have good talent on their roster, but something about the personalities just don't mesh, so they can't pull out the wins. So yeah.
Yeah, like you said, synergy is very, very important in a team-based game such as League of Legends. Speaking of your new support player Big, have you found that you guys kind of have a better stylistic synergy? Was it hard for you guys to develop such a good synergy, or did it just come pretty naturally?
He's a super chill guy. He's really open, so that helped for me. I'm a little bit quiet, but I try not to take myself too seriously. I like to clown myself when I make a bad play, and I think he's the same way. We both are able to give each other shit, and that's really, really important for a bot lane. If it's really awkward when mistakes are made and if no one wants to call each other out on it, it's you never progress. But for us, we're literally we're willing to talk about anything that went wrong, anything that went right, and it feels there's an open line of communication, which is really good. So yeah, he's made it easy.
Speaking of communication, you guys have 2 Korean players on your team. I guess 3 if you count Keen. Have you guys completely ironed out all of your language issues at this point? You guys have been on a team for a while now, and you guys are looking much sharper.
There's still a little bit, but Ssumday has worked incredibly hard to improve his English. He's only been here for 6 months learning English, and I feel he can understand pretty much anything we say to him, and he's able to get his point across back all the time now, which is incredible to me. I can't imagine how hard it'd be to learn a language, and
sure.
But now that we are able to sort of talk to each other more, it's communication in games is a lot more fluid. There's less misunderstandings, and it's become a lot better.
Dignitas was an organization that was very competitive at the beginning of the league scene, kind of blossoming and slowly decline until full-on relegation. Now they're back with a really strong squad. How has it been playing for the Dignitas organization in terms of the infrastructure?
It's been really good. I don't think the LOL team actually needs that much. You just need a coach, maybe 2 coaches, which we have, and then just the players. They've provided us pretty much everything we need, and I'm content playing under them. I like playing under Dig. It's good.
One thing I wanted to ask you specifically, as opposed to your teammates, since you're an AD carry player, your coach Kopp, who's really just turned the squad around since he came in last split, was an AD carry player professionally. Do you end up ever learning things individually on a role basis from him, or is it just similar to his overall coaching style, in terms of what you're learning from him?
A little bit. I don't know. He plays AD carry still in solo queue and tries out a bunch of cheesy stuff and stuff like that. I try cheesy stuff. We just it's easy. It's nice that he played ADC at a top level, because I'm able to talk to him about the problems I'm facing and the things that I want to correct, and he's able to give me pretty good advice. So it's pretty good working with Kopp.
You've been playing for quite some time now, which if people haven't seen Challenger Series, or if people haven't been around very long, they may not know that. You are experiencing what I'd say is a pretty strong peak of your career right now. You're playing very, very well and gaining more recognition than I think you have before. Do you think this is something that can be attributed more to joining this successful team, and of course your own merit still, or did you go sort of through your own personal journey to kind of improve your skill, or did you just need the right chance from the right organization?
A little bit of both, but I actually feel like right now, this is actually the best that I've felt for the past like 2 months. So like at the beginning of the last off season, I hadn't taken a break longer than a week for 7 years because I've just always had to like keep grinding to get on the next team and the next team. I've never had like a stable team for like a year. And so I took 3 weeks off, and when I came back, I was extremely rusty. And then when I came back, I actually got sick for a week after that with like tonsillitis right before the split started. So I was actually having a lot of trouble with my play, and I felt very unconfident for a while. But starting from after week 1, when I started to get better, I just put myself on like a strict practice regimen. I've been like going to bed super late and then getting up super early, just playing literally every hour of the day to try and get better. And I think it's sort of paying off. My expectation for myself is to be number 1, and I know nobody else will see me that way, but I think anyone who wants to fight for Worlds has to see themselves and set the bar at like the best for your role in that region, and that's where my bar is set. So if I have even like an average performance, I get really frustrated with myself because I strive for greatness even if I haven't really hit it yet. And I wouldn't consider this the peak of my career because I feel like I can do a lot more. And honestly, for the first like two weeks of LCS, I feel like I just pretty much got carried. I was just like chucking arrows and like following up on my team. I don't think I played miserably, but not where I want to be.
So looking to improve even further here, there's been a lot of talk about hot starts in the LCS. You guys now sit at 5-1 after 3 weeks of play. This looks like the real deal. It doesn't look like just a hot start. What is the ceiling for this Dignitas team, and what are you going to do to achieve that?
The ceiling for us, we're tied for first right now. The ceiling should be first. We should be aiming to go to Worlds. We're definitely like a Worlds level squad, I feel like. But there's like 4 or 5 teams that are actually super good this split. Probably more. Pretty much every team is actually extremely competitive this split, so it's going to be like hard, but I don't know. I see ourselves as being capable of number 1.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans or the Dignitas fans out there?
Thank you to all the fans that support me and all the fans that support Dignitas. And I'm sorry I had a rough start, but I'm working really, really hard to try and improve my play. And I hope you guys can cheer for us. I really appreciate it.
Dignitas off to a great start after 3 weeks of play. For everything else, NALCS and League of Legends, you can go to hala.com.